After round 2 is complete, the drivers who won't advance to round 3, starting with Jimmy Johnson, just 100th of a second off of what Kurt Busch was able to put on the board, finishing 12th. So Jimmy Johnson on the outside looking in. Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, big names here that aren't advancing into the 3rd round, including the 88 of Jeff Gordon. And by the way, it's the 3rd time in 2016 that no Hendrick car will be in the final round of qualifying. Mike.
And Jeff Gordon has just looked at the scoreboard, so to speak. A little disappointed he wasn't 24th. Maybe some numerology he was looking for there. You said it would be challenging. What were the challenges out there today?
Yeah, you know, we did a great job. Greg and the guys on this Exalted 88 team did a great job. You know, from yesterday, I thought we made some improvements. That was a nice lap we put out there the first time. I hit all 4 corners like I was anticipating, but we were a little bit tight, you know, and so we wanted to free the car up. And when we went out that second time, you know, unfortunately, it just freed me up in the wrong areas. I got in the corner and I got real loose getting in. And, you know, once I lost all the momentum in turn 1, the whole lap was kind of over. So, yeah, it's disappointing because I felt pretty good about it. I felt like, you know, I didn't get the best lap the first time out, and I thought with the adjustments we could actually make some improvements. But this place it's tough to make 4 corners here, let alone 8. And some of these guys got to go do it 4 more times. So, really tricky to keep up with those conditions and the adjustments. But hey, we've started in the back and won this thing before, and you know, right now I feel really good about where we're at as a team and the balance of the car for the race trim to be able to move up through the field.
And we'll all be watching him, Rick, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's starting way closer to the front than he did back in 2001 when he won here from 27th starting position, and Sunday he'll start 21st. Round 3 is coming up next. Watch every Sprint Cup Series race with the NBC Sports app and get closer with additional camera angles, driver stats, and track information. It's available on mobile, tablet, and connected TVs. Download the app and find out more at NBCSports.com/live. Round 3 about to get underway. The green flag will be displayed here in just 1 moment. Sure enough, the car's firing up. And there they go. Round 3 is underway, just 5 minutes. Really one shot at this for every driver. This is who will bring the field to the green flag for Brickyard 400 tomorrow.
400 at the Brickyard.
Rick, I can't help to think, you know, you're not supposed to have favorites. I don't think any of us have favorites. But what an emotional weekend for this guy right here. You know, we talked about it last year with Jeff Gordon retiring. You know, he got his final win at Martinsville, a place that he had so much dominance in his career. But when you think of racers and you think Indianapolis, it's hard not to think of Tony Stewart. He calls Indiana home. He loves this state. He loves this venue. A month ago, we wouldn't even have the 14 in the conversation. He wins Sonoma, 2nd in New Hampshire, coming off this high. Just excited, energized to be at the racetrack. And here he is in the final round of qualifying for his final Brickyard.
I think he has a real shot. He was 6th fastest in the first round. He was 2nd fastest in the 2nd round. So I think he's a real contender for this pole.
And he's a big moment player. He is LeBron James in the NBA, waits for the biggest stage. You know, Phil Mickelson in the majors, wait for the biggest stage. Tony Stewart, that's what he is. He's a racer, but he loves these big stages and always seems to rise to the occasion.
So here he is right now, taking the green flag. See the racetrack. See where the shade is. There's shade in this side of the racetrack. They know that. Push on this side of the racetrack harder than you think you can because it is shaded. The shade was not in turn 4 when he came through that. So they did recognize that and know they can push harder right here.
And remember, Tony Stewart talked about that vibration. After the first round, he was 2nd in the 2nd round. It didn't seem to slow him down. We'll see how he can do here in his 3rd and final round of qualifying.
So important to carry a lot of speed into 3. And then as soon as you get to the bottom, boom, right there, go back to the throttle. Like it got tight to me. Sounded like he got slow through the middle of 4.
That did not sound like a turn 4. You heard a couple mistakes.
49.32 for McMurray. Tony Stewart, 48.82. He's fastest, but how about the guys like Kyle Busch that's just behind him?
What a lap by Tony.
So close. Oh. Kyle Busch, is he going to get there?
Denny Hamlin can only end up 2nd. He couldn't beat it.
Kyle Busch going the wrong direction. Carl Edwards, though, looking strong. Does he get it? Carl Edwards Edwards goes up to the top.
Kyle Busch on a good run as well. Kyle Busch
responded. Kyle Busch goes fastest on that lap. Brad Keselowski, 5th quickest. Austin Dillon, 8th quickest of the 8 that have been out there on time. Kurt Busch just getting the green flag on his lap.
And there's not going to be 2 attempts, Rick. So everyone that's completed a lap, they're done. You see on the left side of your board, 1st through 8th, they've run their time lap. Kurt Busch has the green check. He's the only one on the racer, but now Martin Truex joins him. Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, they're still waiting. They still have time. With under 2 minutes left, they still have time to get a lap underway.
And you see the number that they're shooting for, 48.745. Harvick started out in the green, but lost a little of that as he went into 1. Trying to gain it back, though. He stays right about 1/10 of a second slower than what Kyle Busch has run. Riding along with Kurt. Kurt Busch, the 37-year-old out of Las Vegas. Best finish of 5th at this racetrack. Now riding along.
Truex couldn't get it done.
Nope, Truex goes 6th quickest. Only 2 more to take time, Newman and Harvick.
They're both going the wrong direction, Rick. It looks to me.
Newman 6th, Harvick 7th. With under a minute to go in this final round. A year ago, Kyle Busch was able to sweep the Xfinity and the Cup races. And he's looking like he may be able to sweep qualifying as well.
Hamlin is 4th.
And you have to think when Kyle Busch was spinning yesterday in turn 2, he wasn't thinking about the opportunity to sit on a pole. He was thinking about, am I going to need a backup car? So luckily there wasn't a lot of damage. Guys did a really good job of getting him back out, making those fixes very quickly. Near disaster turns into a pole.
No cars coming off of pit road, no cars on the track. It'll be all smiles for the driver of the Skittles, number 18, Kyle Busch. He won the Xfinity pole earlier today, and now he has won the pole in the Sprint Cup Series as well for the Brickyard 400. Seconds have ticked off the clock. That means qualifying is now over. Kyle Busch gets the win in qualifying. He swept it a year ago in the Xfinity Series. First on Saturday in a very warm day, and then came back on Sunday and was able to capture his first Brickyard 400. He wins the pole today. We'll hear from him next. Huge day of racing tomorrow on NBCSN. Just go ahead and set the TV on whatever channel, NBCSN, and throw your remote away because you're going to want to hang out for Hungarian Grand Prix, the Tour de France final stage. We've got racing from the Brickyard. It all wraps up with NASCAR Victory Lap. 13 hours of racing right here on NBCSN. Kelly.
Last year, Kyle Busch swept both the Xfinity and Cup races here at Indy. This year, he starts off with a sweep of the poles. Kyle, just how big is this pole in terms of the history of this place and what it means for tomorrow's race?
Well, it means a lot, you know, and it means a lot to these guys, everyone on this Skittles Camry, everyone at Toyota and TRD. Appreciate all their work and their support and everybody doing a really good job for us, of course. And then just being able to sit on the pole here at Indy, it's something that you always wanted to do, and or I've wanted to do. And I've never been able to do it. I haven't been great at qualifying here, but Adam Stevens and the guys gave me a great piece this time around. So real pumped about that and the opportunity to start first in both days, and hopefully we can end that way as well, too, like last year.
How sensitive was the track? I heard a lot of guys making adjustments even round to round.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You always got to make adjustments, you know, and feel like you're keeping up with the racetrack at least in order to make sure you're doing the best job that you can. And, of course, the driver has to adjust a little bit as well, too, from round to round. So there were some things that I was doing, but you know, overall, I feel like our baseline has been really good here this weekend. You know, I thank Carl and Matt for testing down here and being able to give us some good notes.
All right, well, he did it better than everyone else. So Kyle Busch will start on the pole for tomorrow's race, Mike.
And the guy will be starting behind him in row number 2 in the 3rd starting spot. That's the guy, well, making his final Brickyard 400 appearance, Tony Stewart. Tremendous qualifying effort. What did you think of the way you attacked the racetrack today, and what do you have in terms of a piece to attack it tomorrow?
I was happy with all 3 rounds, to be honest. yesterday, the 2 runs that we made, we never even finished the lap really on the, we bailed out on the first attempt, and the second attempt was terrible. So my crew chief did an awesome job. Mike did a great job of making changes overnight for qualifying, and it showed today. So I just wish I could do lap 3 one more time and not clip the apron in 4. I think we could have been on the pole.
All right, so obviously a lot on your mind as you enter this final Brickyard 400. How would you assess your chances of walking away here the winner of this race?
I think after yesterday we were a little better. I think what we learned today for qualifying, we're going to have to take some of that and try to make our car a little better for tomorrow. But I'm gonna go to Kokomo Speedway tonight for our All-Stars race and go to work there, and then come here and do the best we can tomorrow and have fun with our friends.
Tony Stewart looking for his 3rd career Brickyard 400 victory in his final appearance here. Rick?
And he was smiling. And I tell you, Steve, you actually mentioned it to me while that interview was going on. Kids could learn from this veteran right here.
Yeah, how do you become a superstar? How do you get to Tony Stewart's level in all of racing, whether it's NASCAR, IRL? As you heard right there, the crew chief made changes. The car was better. He doesn't say the car needed to do this or this. He made a mistake. He told everyone on national television that I wish I could do it again. I clipped the apron in turn 4. As big as this day is, it was on me. I wish I could do it again. I think I could sit on the pole, and that means a lot. When you hear Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart, these 2 stars all weekend long talking about this track, they just put it in perspective of how you build the resumes that these 2 have built.
Another Indiana native that has a great starting position. Ryan Newman will start 6th. He's with Kelly.
Ryan Newman will start the Brickyard 400 from the 6th position, so a solid qualifying effort. Did you get everything that you thought you could out of the 31?
I got just a little bit too much in turn 3. I had a pretty good lap going until turn 3 and tried to turn it in, and it didn't want to turn. So it was a good effort today for us for sure with the Granger Chevrolet, and obviously look forward to the 400 tomorrow. But man, is it hot.
Man, is it hot. You've been hot here a couple years ago getting a win here at the Brickyard. What does it mean to come back to this side of such a significant win?
Well, it's a special place in the history of motorsports. It's a special place, obviously, because of me and having won here in 2013. But it's a new day tomorrow, so hopefully we can just go for another one.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Take a look at the starting grid. Row 1, teammates Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards. Just behind him, Tony Stewart making his final Brickyard 400 start. With Denny Hamlin, Joe Gibbs Racing well represented in the first 2 rows.
I don't think there's any surprise with that. Joe Gibbs kind of set the pace all year. 2 good nasty cars side by side in row 5.
Yeah, and I look at Stewart Haas Racing as some competitors. 2 in the top 10. You have Kurt Busch right here inside row 6.
Well, Jimmy Johnson back there in row 7, a little bit further back than we were expecting from his earlier performance. Then Jeff Gordon subbing for Dale Earnhardt Jr. will start in row 11.
Chris Butcher with a good run there, the 34 car. Danica Patrick, I'm pretty sure they were disappointed. As good as they were in the early segment, weren't as good in the second one.
Yeah, as you go back a little bit farther, these are some of the drivers that didn't make it out of round 1. We talked to A.J. Allmendinger. He was very disappointed. Casey Kane as well. Thought they would have more speed. Eric Almirola really been struggling all weekend so far.
Remember, big picture with Casey Kane, a guy who really needs to have a good performance if he wants to have a shot at making it into the chase based upon points. As we look further back here in the field, Reed Sorensen and Patrick Carpentier. Guys starting a little bit closer to the front. Brad Keselowski's with Kelly.
Brad Keselowski has looked fast all weekend long. You were among the quickest in both practices, now fifth fastest in qualifying. What do you like about the 2 for the race tomorrow?
Yeah, you know, we've been kind of up and down, and I didn't think we were going to qualify that well, so that's really a good omen for us. Usually when we qualify well, we've got a lot of speed to race. So looking forward to getting going here tomorrow. The Brickyard, try to win. The captain is first in the Miller Lite Ford, and got my teammates, and they look like they are pretty good too. So we'll just see what we got.
How much do you think he is going to be a factor in this?
Well, it's a factor in this interview, so I imagine it'll be a factor in the race car. It's hot. You know, I think, you know, it's midsummer. It's Midwest. Got a lot of humidity, a lot of heat. Normal deal, but that's what race car drivers do.
That's right. We're all in it together. Thanks, Brad.
No problem. Thank you, Ken.
And Kelly Martin Truex Jr. and I were just talking about the heat inside the race car. I said, what, about 110? He said, no, worse than that. So gives you an idea what these guys will be dealing with on Sunday afternoon here. Qualifying, very fast race car, but when you got out, it seemed like you might not have been all that happy.
No, we've been missing it a little bit. I'm not sure, but all in all, good, great job by the guys. We struggled yesterday in our Q runs, just being tight, and made a lot of adjustments. Felt like we got a little better for the first round. We made some good gains in the second round, and then went backwards for the third. So just all in all, just one of those days. This place is really tricky to figure out, and we just could never quite hit it. But feel pretty good about what we had in race trim, especially on the longer runs, which is going to come into play here. So excited to have auto owners insurance on the car this weekend, our first race with them this year, and hopefully we'll give them a good run tomorrow.
What are you expecting in this race tomorrow?
A lot of fall off. It's going to get real slick. I mean, yesterday track was very, very slippery, and the lap times really fell off throughout a run, and hopefully that gives us opportunity to make some passes here. More so than in the past, but it's always difficult when everybody's trying for that bottom. So we'll see what it brings. I'm excited. Our team has done a really good job of making great adjustments from practice to the race, and we got a lot of confidence that we'll hit it right tomorrow. So just got to do all the things right, and hopefully we'll be kissing some bricks.
Thanks for your time.
You got it.
Rolls off 8th tomorrow, Rick.
Yeah, marquee races have been good for Martin Truex Jr. Finished second in the Daytona 500 to start off the season. Won the Coca-Cola 600. How will he do in the Brickyard 400? We'll hear from the guys here in just a moment.